we're gonna have a look at issues and problems of youth and senior citizens. Let's get started. So today's content, problems and issues of youth and problems and issues of the aged. If you take problems and issues of youth, here I have given the major problems and issues of youth in India: unemployment, education, sexuality, and drug abuse and suicide. If you take problems of elderly people in India, that is known as senior citizens, economic, social, psychological, and health related problems and issues of senior citizens. First of all, before getting into the topic, we should know the meaning of youth. Youth are defined as those aged 15 to 29 in the National Youth Policy, which is mentioned in National Youth Policy 2014. This age group constitutes 27.5% of India's population, and the 2011, which was given by 2011 census, and counted 563 million young people from 10 to 35 age group. And every year we are celebrating Youth Day on 22nd January, which is remembrance of Swami Vivekananda's birthday. Next, unemployment. What is unemployment? So unemployment is a state of individual. It is state of worklessness for a man fit and willing to work, that is condition of involuntary and not voluntary idleness. So definition of unemployment. So according to sociologist Carl Bribram, unemployment is a condition of a labor market in which the supply of labor is greater than the number of openings. If we take labor markets, there will be a number of openings. If there is number of opening is 100, suddenly unemployment number of unemployees are 200. So that leads to unemployment. If we take a sociologist and a professor in sociology, Bigov says that unemployment refers to idleness without employment. It's a state of idleness without having employment. Joblessness report, which was given by Center for Monitoring Indian Economy for the year 2019 to 20. If you take the various states with unemployment, the highest unemployee rate which took place in Haryana. Next to Haryana, we could find Tripura and Jammu and Kashmir. The highest unemployment rate in Haryana is 28.7%, which data has given by Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, that is CMI. Then what are the causes of unemployment? There are a number of causes for being unemployed. Here I have given the vital causes: rapid population, rapid population growth, and economic inflation, economic recession, changing technology, demand for highly skilled labor, global competition, and illiteracy. These all are major causes for unemployment in India. Then what are the types of unemployment we have in sociology? We have major 6 types of unemployment: voluntary unemployment, involuntary unemployment or underemployment, seasonal unemployment, agricultural unemployment, technical or frictional unemployment, industrial unemployment. And what is voluntary unemployment? For example, the state of unemployment, a state of having no job. For example, I'm having an undergraduate degree. Suddenly I want to work in a particular industry or particular office or particular private sector, suddenly I'm seeking for job but there is no vacancy in the particular field. That is called voluntary unemployment. If it is involuntary unemployment or underemployment, if you take an involuntary, I'm having opportunities, kind of a number of opportunities, but I'm not having eligibility to get the particular job. Seasonal unemployment. Seasonal unemployment is based on season. If you take a particular group of people will be having employment opportunity only for the particular season. We can take building construction. Those who are working in building construction, that people will have only 2 or 3 month job. After completing the construction, there will be no job vacancy for the individuals, that employers. That is seasonal unemployment. Agricultural unemployment. If you take agricultural, it's quite related to seasonal unemployment. We could find seasonal unemployment in the agricultural field, and it's similar to seasonal unemployment. Agricultural unemployment. If you take cultivation activities, there will be work for 2 months or 3 months. After that, there will be no vacancy for job or work. Agricultural unemployment is based on day-to-day wages. Technological or frictional unemployment. If you take technological unemployment, suddenly you are having a skill, but you don't have educational status or educational eligibility. Suddenly you can't work in technology oriented industry. But I know how to use computer, how to use laptop, but I don't have minimum degree or undergraduate degree. Suddenly I can't get into employment or job. Industrial unemployment. So industrial unemployment is based on industries. Those who are working in industries, suddenly the artificial intelligence will replace those vacancies. We could find robotics in industries that will replace the human being, so that there will be no job vacancies for employees. Next slide. Okay, what are the solutions for unemployment in India? If you take, we can solution, we can increase the industries so that we could make a number of vacancies for the unemployees, and establishment of vocational and technical training institutes. If we establish a number of vocational and technical training institute, we can create our own business, and we can run our own industries or fields. Then increased investment in heavy industries. When government or private sector invest more capital, they can create more production, more manufacturing activities. If there is more manufacturing activities, ultimately there will be a number of vacancies for the workers. These are major solutions. Apart from that, each and everyone could get many solutions for unemployment. Before slide we discussed about three solutions. Apart from that, here I have given other solutions like modernization of agriculture. When we give modernization, when we adopt technology in agriculture, we can get more advantage for the employers, so that they can get more employment. Improved transport and communication. When we improve transportation and communication, these are the field. Here we could find a number of employment opportunities. Transportation and communication industries. For transportation, we can take an example like buses, trains, and aircrafts. If you take communication, it's about telephone, internet, and televisions. Everything will come under communication. When we improve the these sectors, we can improve the number of employment opportunities, and self-employment should be encouraged. When we encourage self-employment by giving financial support, in India we could find a number of financial schemes and financial policies to develop the self-employment in India. If we motivate the self-employers, we could avoid unemployment in our society. A revival of cottage and small scale industries. If you take cottage industries, it's it's a manufacturing oriented. If we implement the cottage industry in small scale industries like household related works, we could improve employability and we can avoid unemployment in our society. Then education also one of the problem and issues for youth in India. If we take education in India, we can divide into four categories. Pre-primary level, that is, pre-primary level is schooling. It's only for 5 to 6 years of age. If we take second level, the primary or elementary level, that is this education for 6 to 14 years of age. Article 21A, it's a fundamental rights. It's a part 3 fundamental rights. Article 21 says that the government has introduced from this article, government has introduced Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. It's known as SSA. Under this scheme, each and every individual, those who are below 14 or between 6 to 14, they are having rights to education. This article also known as RTE Act. Secondary level, this is third level education system in India. It's age between 14 and 18. This education is compulsory for every Indian citizens. This education has given from RMSA scheme, that is Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan. Last one is higher education. We know what is higher education. It's a final stage in education system in India. In this stage we can find 3 or 4 levels. First one is UG, that is undergraduate. Second level is PG, that is postgraduate. Third level is MPhil. Fourth level is PhD. So after completing your PG, you can directly go for PhD admission. If you want to get more information on research, you can go for MPhil. MPhil stands for Master of Philosophy. If you take PhD, Doctor in Philosophy. So government has implemented RUSA scheme, which gives financial support and infrastructural support to the higher educational institution. RUSA stands for Rashtriya Uchchadar Shiksha Abhiyan. So these are educational levels in India. So what are the problems of youth in education in India? There are many problems. Education system promotes rat race. If you take wherever you go, you need to study, you need to score marks, you need to get a good grade, then you will get good job. It's not oriented to the skill. Suddenly, it promotes race among the students. Education does not build personality of a child. If you take our education, it's everything, it's memory oriented, it's concept oriented. Suddenly you have to understand the theory, no need to go for practical. Sometimes if you take arts subjects, education, it's not giving opportunity to develop the personality of the student or child. So if we take education from first standard to 12th standard or UG, PG, you could find there will be no critical analysis. Suddenly, if you study some particular part of the book or part of chapter of the book, you can go for the analysis, examinations, assessment, and you can write and you can establish the concept what you have studied in the theory or books. There will be no opportunity to establish your own ideas and beliefs. So missing innovation creation because only apping Western, which means there will be no innovative creative ideas. We could find still rural areas. There will be elementary school, there will be arts, government arts and science colleges far away from home, and there will be only theory oriented exams. There will be lack of facility for labs, and here we could not find innovative and creative ideas. Students happy in getting a highly paid salary jobs but lacks ambition to become entrepreneur. If you take higher education system, suddenly there will be campus recruitment, or suddenly we could find outside recruitment. Students want to get into the paid salary job. They don't want to become a self entrepreneur or self employee. When they want to become a self entrepreneur, we can ultimately develop our finance, we can develop our economic institution in the social system. Gross failure of our education system to end social disparity. Whether you want to get into IITs, whether you want to get into a higher educational system, there will be reservation, social reservation. Based on the social reservation, people will get opportunities to do PhD, MPhil, or UG or PG. Based on social disparity, that is social reservation, which leads to lack of skill among the youth. Too much parochialism, or rather global outlook. So if you take education system, very few institutions are focusing on international perspective to develop their educational institution. Many of the institution in our country, we could find there will be no international level perspective to improve or develop their educational institutions. Parochialism, it's about local education. It's about national level. It's not about international level. Clear? So, medium of language of our education system. If we take many of the rural people, rural students, rural individuals doesn't have proper communication system, like communication skill. Especially medium of education in India, we could find more than 80% of institutions follows English. Apart from 80 percentage of educational institutions follows Hindi or Tamil or Malayalam. Apart from English, we could find a number of institutions, in the sense 20 percentage of institution follows their own mother tongue. Since they are following their own mother tongue, when they want to get into job or when they want to get into work in other countries with other international projects, it's very difficult to understand the concept to come, and it's very difficult to complete their task and goal in a given time. Education given is irrelevant to job market. It's whatever you studied, you can't implement the same theory or same education in the job market. If you are doing BA, Bachelor of Arts in Sociology, or Bachelor of Arts in Political Science, you can study the system of political system, you can study the system of society. Suddenly when you get job, you can't implement the all those things which you studied in your education. It's very irrelevant. So that what will happen, they will when they want to get into job, they will get into the job, and they will get training from the institution, and they will apply their skill what they learn from the institution, like what they learn from the skill training, not from the institution. So it's entirely different from the education institution. If you take currently most yearly childhood education is delivered through Anganwadis and private preschools. However, there has been less focus on the educational aspect of early childhood. Teachers themselves are not trained and efficient or effective. If you take many in educational sector, especially we could say government sectors, uh, because of lack of financial support, and we could say not only government schools but also government aided or self-financing colleges, when there is no lack of teaching faculties, so there will be no proper education. there will be no proper training and efficiency, which leads to problems for youth in the future. So if we take Indian Constitution, we could find Article 45 of Indian Constitution, that is directive principles of state policy, which talk about free and compulsory education for all children until they complete the age of 14 years. So it's talk about it's free and compulsory education. If you belongs to India, if you have Indian citizenship, you could get free education until age of 14. And Article 21 Class A of the Indian Constitution, it's a part 3 fundamental rights. As has been said in the previous slide, it's a pre and compulsory education for children between age 6 to 14 years in India. So if you take Article 44, it's about age between 14 years until 14 years. 21A talks about children can get free education between 6 to 14 years. Then sexuality. Sexuality is a major issue of youths in India. If we categorize sexuality into, we can categorize into four issues, that is pornography, child abuse, elder abuse, and prostitution. If we take pornography, is printed or visual material containing the explicit description or display of sexual organs or activity intended to stimulate sexual excitement. So it's pornography, it's printed or visual material which gives illegal, like it gives it intended to stimulate sexual excitement. This is one of the major issue in India for youths. So what are the impact of pornography? So we could find a number of impact of pornography and psychological impact. So it gives you a depression, anger and anxiety, and it can lead to mental distress. It also impact day-to-day functioning of children, their biological clock, their work and their social relationship. An impact of sexuality, when seen regularly, it gives a sense of sexuality gratification, sexual gratification and sexual obsession, which leads to willingness to do the same things in the real life. So social addiction, according to some expert in pornography, it's like people, when youths are looking for pornography, they would addicted for the pornographies. The behavioral impact, adolescent pornography use is associated with a stronger belief in gender stereotypes, particularly for males. Male adolescents who view pornography frequently are more likely to view women as a sex objectives. So it's a mental problem as well as behavioral problem, the attitude of the man towards women. So apart from that, we could see positive impact, like pornography may strengthen attitude supportive of sexual violence and violence against women. From this issue, women are aware about these issues and they can develop their strength against this kind of attitude of among men. Law for pornography in India. If you take, there is no law banning watching pornography in personal space. After the Supreme Court order, the Department of Telecommunication banned several websites containing child pornographic material. As per the Information Technology, that is IT Act 2002, it is punishable to show children any pornographic content. So we could find this IT Act, which help us to protect the youngsters or youth from child pornography. Protection of children from sexual offences, that is POCSO Act, which is very famous recent times, which was Established in 2012, it provides a robust legal framework for the protection of children from offences of sexual assault and sexual harassment and pornography, while safeguarding the interest of the child at every stage of the judicial process. So, Max, if you take a POCSO Act, if you are carrying pornography, child pornography, that could lead to imprisonment from 5 years to lifetime. Clear? So, we are discussing about issues of youth in India. Drug abuse also one of the major issue or and problem India for youths. The habit, what is drug abuse? It's a habitual taking of illegal drugs. Part 4 of Indian Constitution, which is Directive Principles of State Policy, contains in Article 47 of Indian Constitution, which direct the state to endeavor to bring about prohibition of consumption, except for medicinal purposes of intoxicating drugs injuries to health. So it's talk about drug abuse. It's about drug. If it is health, if it is medical oriented, we could take for the health purpose. Cigarette and other tobacco product Act 2003. It's talk about smoking is prohibited in public places. And punishment for smoking in public places, fine up to 200 rupees. Nowadays, they have changed the punishment, like fine up to 1000 rupees to 2000 rupees. So it's vary from act. So if you take recent drug abuse act that are punishment for smoking in public place, it could fine up to 500 rupees, 1000 rupees, or 2000 rupees. So IPC section 85 and 86. So IPC stands for Indian Penal Code. It's talk about criminal offense and drug abuse. Section 85 talks about nothing wrong or unlawful done by a person in the state of intoxication would be considered a crime if the person was intoxicated without his knowledge or against his will. It's section 85. It's talk about voluntary drug use. If you take section 85, it's talk about an offense requiring a particular intent or knowledge committed by one who is intoxicated will be treated the same way as he would have if he had not been intoxicated unless the person was intoxicated without his knowledge or against his will. It's about involuntary. If you take IPC section 85, it's talk about voluntary drug use. If you take section 85, it's about involuntary. 85 talks about the I don't know the effect of the drug, still I am consuming the drug. Second one is section 85. I know the intention or I know the effect of the drug, still I am taking involuntary by its medical practice or health related issues. Next. So causes of drug abuse. What are the causes? What are the factors leads to use illegal drugs? Depression and mental illness. When individual or when youths are feel depression and when they are feeling mentally ill, and they could go for using drug abuse. And history of trauma. When they are having some kind of fear after having a drug, they could feel confident, and that also leads to drug abuse among youths. Stress and inability to cope. When there is more stress, when there is inability, uh, they could consume drug to cope up with the environment or situation. Low self-esteem. If you take students or youngsters, when they are participating in a cultural event or when they are participating in like a vacation, other friends or peer groups will use drugs. Since the particular person is not ready to use, he will feel low self-esteem. Okay, others are using, I'm drugs, I'm not consuming drugs, so that the particular person can use a drug for their self-esteem. And social pressures, as has been said, the social pressure, peer group will pressurize you to use drugs. uh, okay, that is social pressure. The academic pressure, when there is a formal meeting in which is academic oriented or educational oriented, that time people could pressurize you to use drugs. They could pressurize you to drink alcohol or other things, which academic pressure we could find very few places or few events in India. Lack of parent or child communication. Nowadays parents are having a busy life, a busy schedule. They want to earn money, they want to settle in a good uh, the good way, and they are trying to have more money. They want to have good social status, but they are forgetting to have proper social relationship or proper social interaction with their child. That also could leads to drug abuse. Suddenly, when the child feels lonely, they could go for drugs. These are major causes. And child abuse, the third concept in sexuality, that is child abuse. So child abuse is refers to physical maltreatment or sexual molestation of a child. So child abuse, we could find a number of newses in recent days. And child abuse, causes many physical abuses. According to a report by child rights NGO, that is CRY, sexual offense is committed against a child in India every 15 minutes, which talk about the child abuse, that is part of sexuality. It's a part of problems and issues of youth in India. Then elder abuse or elderly abuse. So it's a part of sexuality. It's a problem of youth in India. We could see elder abuse is a single or repeated act or lack of appropriate action occurring with any relationship where there is an expectation of trust, which causes harm or stress to an older person. It's elder abuse or sexually could be physical abuse. It's not mental abuse or psychological abuse. The physical abuse will leads to mental or psychological abuse ultimately. If we take data from Helpage Home India in 2018 report, we could find very less sexual abuse among elders, that is only 1%. If you take um, other abuses, the 3%, and physical abuse 12%. Economic exploitation, financial or economic exploitation, that is 22%. Neglect, avoiding, isolating the elders, that is 34% of elders are feeling isolated or neglected. And verbal abuse. Verbal abuse also one of the types of elder abuse. In verbal abuse, people could young people or child or small people, like elders could use bad words, and they could use different kind of words towards their elders. That is verbal abuse, that is 49%. Disrespect. Disrespect is a part of neglecting, and that is different from disrespecting. And 56% of elder population in India could feeling disrespect, right? These are sexual problems, right? Prostitution, we have discussed. So here prostitution is the one of the problem for youth in India. This part of sexuality. So final part. Prostitution, it's a Prevention of Immoral Trafficking Act 1987. Sexual exploitation or abuse of person for commercial purpose. It avoids. We could find prostitution in Indian cities. Many Indian cities are Indian capitals, states capitals having this kind of practice. But there is one of the oldest profession of world practice since the birth of the organized society. So prostitution is the oldest profession we could find in various societies, whether it is Indian society, whether it is Western society, whether you belongs to a rural society, whether you belong to urban society, we could find prostitution. So according to Immoral Trafficking Act, its prostitution is illegal until the particular person having permission, like a person having voluntary action. Prostitution is practiced in almost all the countries and every type of society. As has been said, you could find everywhere. In India, the Vedas, the earliest of the known, Indian literature abound in inference to prostitution as an organized and established institution. Nowadays, we could find non-established institution. Its prostitution is not established institution. Some, in major cities like Bombay, Calcutta, and Delhi, Chennai, also we could find prostitution. In India mythology, there are many references of high-class prostitution in the form of celestial demigods acting as a prostitute. It's about Vedas time. It's about it's talked about Vedas, right? Then there are referred as Menagas, Rampas, Urvasis, and Tilottama. The prostitutes' name in Vedas time, they have given names for the prostitutes like Menagas, Rampas, Urvasis, like that. Next, suicide. Suicide is an important social issue for the youth. Suicide is act of intentionally causing one's own death. If we take Emil Durkheim, he's a French social scientist. He talks about suicide and he did research on suicide. Suicide is applied to every case of death which result directly or indirectly from a positive or negative act. So the positive or negative act directly or indirectly cause death, that could call suicide. So Emil Durkheim did a research in Western countries and he has classified suicide into four categories. We have discussed these four categories in our previous semester, right? So suicide is one of the major issues of youth in India. What are the causes? What are the causes of suicide? And here we could find a number of causes among youths in India. First is major disappointment. When nowadays youngsters are very sensitive, when they feel disappointed, they want to attempt suicide, and sometimes they are saying this word and they are blackmailing their family members and they are achieving their task or goal. Sometimes they are using this word suicide like a word which gives more benefit, like helps the individual to attain their objective. Stress. So because of stress, recent days due to corona, we could find a number of suicide among the capitalists, among the owners of private sectors. Stress also one of the cause for suicide. We could find stress as a cause for suicide among students. And depression we could find among workers because of more depression. Workers or IT sector employers or government sector employers also can go for suicide. If we take substantial abuse, it's about physical abuse which also leads to suicidal problem among youngsters. Biology. So how suicidal problem is biological? Sometimes we could find newses like grandma's attempt suicide. So like grandma, the grandchild attempted suicide after some years. So biological reason also we could find for the causes of suicide. Solution for suicide. What are the solution we can give as a social scientist for the suicide? Providing a stable or safe physical or emotional home environment. When there is no safe or emotional proper emotional home environment, which could leads to suicide. Spending quality time with young people. There is no proper social interaction among the young people, that also could leads to problem, suicidal problem. Listening to teenagers, not only to what is being said but also to the covered messages, it's indirect messages. Sometimes people, teenagers could try to say something to the parent. Sometimes the parent will not listen to them. That also could leads to suicide. Being supportive and not intrusive. When the teenagers talk about their problems, we have to give, as a elder we have to give support. And you should not tell them you supposed to do like that. If you are doing like that, it will happen definitely. You should not give negative attitude. That negative attitude also will leads to suicidal attack. Encouraging the appropriate expression of emotions. If you take teenagers or youths in India, they could not only in India, other countries, they could give some emotional expression. Through that emotional expression, they always try to say something to their parents, to their guides. Sometimes they are not understanding expressions of emotions, that could leads to suicide. Senior citizens. What do you mean by senior citizens? So this unit entirely about the problems and issues of youth and senior citizens. There is no proper definition in our country for senior citizen. Still, we could find one proper definition in Income Tax Act 1961, which talks about senior citizens. A senior citizen has been defined as an individual who attains the age of 60 years at any time during a financial year, while an individual who is 80 years or more is categorized as very senior citizens. In India, we could find, or we could categorize elder people into two categories. The elder people should have minimum 60 years age. First one is senior citizen and very senior citizen. If your particular elder people is above 80 years, the person can be categorized as very senior citizen. It's according to which act? Yes, Income Tax Act 1961. Then what are the issues? Still, youths also having problems and issues, and senior citizens also problems and issues in Indian society. If we take senior citizens and also very senior citizens, we could find five major problems, that is medical, economic, social, psychological and housing problem. Housing problem is a part of social problem. Still we can divide into separate category. Medical problems. What are the medical problems? If you if you are belongs to like when you reach above age 60 age or 80 age, you could get medical problems like chronic health conditions, physical injury, malnutrition, sensory impairment, it's a visionary impairment, oral health, it's about a teeth problem, the substance abuse and bladder control and constipation, it's about uh, stomach related problem, right? These all are medical problem of elderly people or senior citizen or very senior citizens. Economic problems. Still elder people are having economic problem, whether they are belongs to joint family or nuclear family. They could we could find a number of economic problems. Difficulty job market. Still there is no financial support in the elder people's household. they want, when they want to get into job, there is no job vacancies, or there is a very difficult job market for the elderly people, deaths and kids. When there is no proper guidance for their grandchildren, when they are single parent, they could find debt nets, and there will be no financial support, there will be proper economical support for their kids too. Rising healthcare cost. Nowadays, if you take hospitality, if you take medicines, rates are very high comparatively. In our country, we can find lack of rising health care cost. If you take western countries or other modern countries, you could find cost of health care is increased. And spend less. If you take economic problem, they want to spend more, but they are having lack of finance, lack of money, so that they are spending less, and they are categorizing and they are privileging themselves, like they are having a particular mark, they should they are making landline like a deadline, you should not supposed to spend 500 per day. So likewise there will be condition for spending money. Social problems. What are the social problems elderly people are having in our society? Lack of shelter. So social problem is a part of lack of shelter is a household problem. When the elders are being very aged, the people, the home people or household people not ready to take care of their elders, so that the elder people are having shelter problem. So isolation. So elder people are always feeling isolated from their family, and no family members are ready to discuss and talk with the elderly people. That leads to isolation. Boredom. It's type of attitude which leads to isolation, which leads to boringness among the elders. No friends. If you take elder people, senior citizens, we could find very few number of people to share their emotions, feelings and problems. These are part of social problems. Apart from these problems, you could find social relationship, social interaction, which constitute the proper social structure. That proper social structure will lead to the proper social uh, system or society. So ultimately, the senior citizen is a part of the social system or social subsystem. When there is no proper guidance, when there is no proper caring for the elder individual, will leads to problem in the social institution. When there is a problem in the social institution, which leads to social problem, social system, so it ultimately social system will get affected due to the lack of caring for elder people in the society. Housing problems. Its housing problem is one of the part of a social problem which I have mentioned, in lack of shelter, which a part of housing problem. When there is no affordability, since the particular person is elderly or senior citizen, there will be no affordability, since they are not having job, they are not having enough money to pay their household rent. Physical accessibility and access to medical and other services inside outside the home. We could find this kind of problem which is related to medicine and healthcare oriented service. Senior in rural areas encounter additional challenges and related to their relative isolation from the neighbors, service and amenities. So if we take a household problem or a housing problem, we could find a number of problems for the elders. Apart from these three problems, it's shelter oriented. Since lack of children are supporting their parents after getting marriage, we could find a number of elder orphanage homes in India. Especially, we could find a number of elder orphanage home or elder caring home in Indian cities like Chennai, Bombay, Delhi, because the individual or children are not ready to care their parents. They are very busy with their jobs, they are busy with their duties, and they want to earn more money, they want to settle, and they are not ready to give importance to their parents, which leads to problem in social system, right? So today we discussed about the problems and issues of youths and elders, and we know the definition of youth, we know the definition of senior citizen from this class. So economic problem. Next is economic problem of the aged. What are the economic problem? It's a finance oriented. So economic problem is also a part of social problem for the reason the retirement. If you take 60 years people, 60 years individual could get retirement from their job. Because of retirement they could get a financial problem, and the medicine, when they want to get more medicines, they could spend more money, that also could leads to economic problems. The surgery, because of elderly, because they will be getting more health issues which could leads to surgery, that also one of the economic problem. The transportation, if you take elderly people could not walk for a long time, long distance, so that they could use transportation, which also leads to more cost and diet. So elderly people should follow diet, nutrition. They should consume diet like nutritious food, which also could leads to economic problems. As has been said, social problem. Apart from that, here I have given, that is spouse status and familial status. Spouse, whether you are single parent, whether you have support in the family. A familial status, whether you are belongs to a joint family. If you are belongs to joint family, any one of your child or grandchild will be there to support you, to care you. That is familial status. Lack of preparedness for old age, that is also leads to elderly's problem. They are not ready to, they are previously not having economical savings, that also leads to lack of preparedness for old age. The mental situation of being alone. The social problem, as has been said, idleness, when they are feeling alone, that also will leads to mental problem, the psychological problem, the lowered self esteem. When they are not having proper social interaction, when they are not having proper support from the familial as familial institution, that also could leads to lower self esteem. Okay, no one is there to care about me, no one is there to take care of me, that also will leads to social problems. The boredom, as has been discussed in the previous slide, the same, it's a problem, social problem for the elder people. Psychological problems of age. 80% of the psychotic disorder among older people in the civilized society are following. There we could find two types of psychological problems. Senile dementia, that is poor memory. It's we could find 80% of the people, they will forget where they kept their specs, where they kept their properties or belongings, and senile dementia, it's about poor memory, intolerance of change, disorientation, insomnia, it's about insomnia, forgetting things, right? Somnia, it's about a fear of forgetting. Failure to judgment, delusion, hallucination, and mental depression, and agitation, and mental clouding. Mental clouding is a psychological problem. They will imagine something that is entirely different from our normal society, our normal day-to-day activities. Psychosis with arteriosclerosis, which is acute ingestion, it's a stomach-oriented problem. We could find like acute indigestion is not stomach oriented, it's a brain oriented problem. It's a damage in brain and personality change. Suddenly the elderly people would act like or behave like a child. Suddenly they will tell something as a matured person. Sometimes they will cry, sometimes they will laugh without any reasons, right? That is called psychosis with atherosclerosis. Health related problems. Health related problem: obesity, metabolic syndrome is um, uh, it's a physical difference when we compare with the young people and elderly people. And hearing, visual impairment, as has been said in the previous class, bone weakness, and autoimmune disease. It's a immunity related disease. Lack of immunity could lead to a health problem and depression. Depression, it's also come under health issue and also will come under psychological issue of youth, senior citizen. So by this slide I'm completing my class. So I hope everything is clear. So in the next class we will discuss about the final unit. In this unit we discuss about issues and problems of youth and elders in Indian society. Apart from these problems, you could find a number of issues. As a social scientist, as a advocate, as a lawyer, you could find many problems in legal perspective. Okay, thank you.